Mario, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm sure everybody's very interested in hearing your insights into the topics that we're discussing here today. The first question I've got for you is, what's the most valuable lesson that you've learned about leadership, and how's that then shaped your approach to leading others in the future?
Yeah, this is I have an episode in my career when I was starting as a young team leader. So I was building a team from scratch, and I had a department leader and a director, and this was in automotive, and basically this was hardware development, hardware testing, and I was hired there to build up a team that is responsible for the entire software around the test rigs. So, and then software was a quite complex subject there, and the lessons I've learned is trust. My department leader was always, when I'm talking about bits and bytes, Mr. Hase, explain me that I understand this because this is not my subject. So, and then I felt that he trusted me because he didn't understood exactly what I was doing, and but I had the trust, and this was a good feeling. So you could do, and you knew your manager was behind you and holding your back, and the same was then with the director. It's all about when you have a test lab, it's all about efficiency, so and utilization. So when testing is interrupted for whatever reason, it's a big mess. And then I had a director. He was an old engineer, almost 2 meter tall, and a bear like a man, and or man like a bear, and he was really loud. So, and then you heard him yelling when something was happening, and then you just went there and said, "Okay, this happens. It was not our fault because it's a really complex system, several complex system working together, and the interfaces are not designed for mass production. This is all individual setup, and we have countermeasures that it's not happening again." And and then he's just said, "I see you have it under control. Call me if something happens." And this was the same. It was trust. And this period in time in my career was the most exciting period, because you had two managers in a row behind your back, and keeping your back free, so that you could really do what matters. And this I kept in my life, and also I was trying to do or to deal in the same way when I had problems, and had to fulfill tasks. Trust the people.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really great message, because I think a lot of leaders say the same, but maybe don't practice it as much as they preach it. So yeah, I've had similar situations in the past where I've had that trust, and I think when you have that trust, you're much more likely to take risks. I think risks can always, of course, potentially go wrong, but you don't take those risks if you don't have that trust, because you're obviously too conscious to not make a mistake. But I think it's, especially within engineering, taking those risks can sometimes lead to the solution, and I think it's that trust is what's going to make you take that risk.
Exactly. When you fail fast, and then you learn from your failures, and it should never happen again. And when you have the trust that you can do this, it's easier when you just get blamed every time. So you really don't risk anything, and then you don't learn anything.
Yeah, definitely. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So question 2 is, what impact can it have when you adapt your teams to suit the strengths of each person individually?
This is something you cannot always apply, because if you have some sort of for example, like you have a production or something, and you just have a task to fulfill, then you have a workflow, and then it doesn't matter if you have a very creative person there, or something different person that is not creative, but he is better in documenting. So the job has to be done, and then you cannot really bring this in. But again, when I had this team, or I built up this team, I was getting young blokes that did next to their job a further education, so they had the will to do something, and this was not really recognized in the organization. And then I came and said, "Okay, I'm building up a team, and this is the task that we are going to to perform, and would you like to join me? And then they joined me, and then you realize some are really good in documentation, some are really geeks when it comes to hack something and to bring a solution, but they are not good in documentation. So then you realize, yeah, this guy that you have a problem where you need to bring a solution. It's not about documenting. So you can take this guy, and then he will do this. He is encouraged because he brings you a solution, and this is good. While when you then do the documentation, on the other hand, you have some guys that have this OCD, and they documenting everything really perfect and in a very good manner. Then you use them for this, and then you have both encouraged in their strengths, and you have a high performing team in the end.
Yeah, definitely. I think, it's a really great way to make everybody feel valued, isn't it? Because I think if you're playing to your strengths, that can only make you feel confident and, make you enjoy your work, I feel, as well. So I think, it's a really, really powerful, strategy to improve a team's mental health and also, their performance and efficiency, as you mentioned.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Thank you. All right, brilliant. And question 3 that I've got for you then is, how important is it to remain true to yourself and your principles when becoming a successful engineer?
Yeah, I'm I'm German. I'm straightforward, and this is I would say it's hard when you have a global work environment. With the Asian, you need to learn when a Japanese said, "Musakashi desu." It's difficult. Then you can translate this to yourself. It's physically impossible, and you need to learn to read between the lines. But nevertheless, what remains to me is I don't bend myself. I don't like to bend myself. I grew up in this environment, and I'm straightforward. And when something bothers me, then I used to tell this, and it's not that. I want to be the nagging German that is always only bringing up the negative points, but um, in an environment where everyone is telling, "Oh, great job, great job, great job," and what do we have achieved? Nothing we have achieved. We were sitting for an hour and we are discussing the things that we have for weeks and weeks and weeks again and again and again. So this is something where I have my own style, and I say, oh no, we cannot do this in this way. We can do this in another way, and then we achieve goals faster. And this is even when you have a majority with a different opinion. You need to stand up and bring your things in, and often it's like yeah, people start to think about, and then they say, yeah, makes sense, let's try this, and then you have your way. And I like it more to be honest and straightforward than playing political games. So, and this is my way of working, and this is the way how I treat people. And so far, I still have I left, for example, Opel in 2015, and I still have a very great relationship with all my coworkers, with all my team members, and even with my previous leaders. So this is because when you yeah, honest to yourself and treat people in this way, it's the best way to be successful, at least to my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I think, being the true, authentic self, it's, I suppose that it makes it a lot easier for you to, push yourself further because, you trust in yourself, you trust in your beliefs, and you know what is right. And I think, you defend your point better, you make your point better. But I think also you accept responsibility for any mistakes as well. If you've learned that you were wrong on something, you're happy to accept the responsibility because you were true to yourself. I think it makes that process a lot easier.
Exactly. So you can make failures. This is human being, and as again we learn from our failures, and you don't blame anyone else when you made a mistake. It happens, and learn from it and learn it fast, and then it should never happen again.
Yeah, definitely. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for those insights. I'm sure they'll be massively appreciated. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.